What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mad About Toys. We're checking out Eclipse. Love this figure. Love all the Valaverse figures. This one here is actually my favorite, and pretty much everybody so far that I've heard, the favorite is Pandora. But this one here, just something about it. Really, really like it. Like the alternative head sculpt. I believe that's probably the best accessory in the whole wave, but love this figure. She comes from Ecuadorian background and Mohican background, which is Native American, and they were actually pushed off of their land, and a group of them moved to Six Nations Reserve in Ontario, Canada, which is actually where my background is from and where my dad's reservation is. So very cool. So I guess that probably pushed her a little bit over the top for me and being one of my favorite figures or the favorite figure of the wave. But let's take a closer look at Eclipse. Just an outstanding figure. All of them are. Like I mentioned in my previous video, if you don't have any Valaverse figures yet and you're a fan of the G.I. Joes, you collect classifieds, pick yourself up some Valaverse figures. You will definitely not be disappointed. I got these in Canada at not EB Games, ecollectibles.ca. Check those guys out. Just absolutely fantastic guys to deal with. And in the US, you could probably find these on valaverse.com. So let's take a close-up look of Eclipse.
Diane Tamayo grew up in upstate New York to parents with mixed heritage. Her father was a skilled blacksmith of Macayan descent. Her mother was a career army officer from Ecuador. From the time she was old enough to walk, her father exposed her to the outdoors, ensuring that the skills and tradition of his family were passed on to his daughter. By the time she was a teenager, she was as much as an expert in her culture as her father. After high school, she chose to follow in her mother's footsteps by serving her country. Diane excelled in airborne training and left college with jump wings on her chest and ambition in her heart for more. She found what she was looking for at Ranger School, where she came face to face with her own insecurities and weaknesses. While deployed in the Middle East, Diane soon found herself being attached to the special missions units, going in places that the Army wasn't permitted to go. After the events of the Divide, many recruits came calling, but there was only one force that would allow Eclipse to showcase her talents. Love the backstory to all these characters. Let's do some size comparisons.
Here we got Eclipse with everybody's favorite Pandora and Kill Switch. I think Eclipse is just a little bit taller than the other two, but and she has three different looks. So I think that pushes her over to be the best figure in my opinion. It's the only one that I want to get another one of so I can have both of the looks. The other head that is kind of more of a generic one that will just be in army builders, and whereas that one, that's a very unique head sculpt and the best accessory that he's included in all three of these figures. Let's check her out with the guys from Valaverse. Here she is with Trigger, Duster, and one of the regular troops there. As you can see, I was never able to get that vest back done up, so I'm very hesitant to take the vests off of these ladies. I hear that it's much better and it's much easier, but I definitely have left this one here for over a year, just sitting like that. Let's move on to some G.I. Joes. And here we got her next to Outback, Roadblock, and Bazooka. So a couple of different sizes with the G.I. Joe men here, and she fits in great. The Valaverse figures do fit in great with your G.I. Joes. So if you haven't got any, you can definitely mix and match them. They do look great. I believe he definitely makes them that way so that you can put them in your G.I. Joe classified line or Marvel Legends, whatever you want to do. But for me, these are fantastic figures. I'm a big fan. I'm going to continue to collect G.I. Joe classifieds as long as the price point doesn't hit a certain amount, and I'm going to continue to collect the Valaverse. I do hope the Valaverse become easier to get here in Canada, but ecollectibles.ca carries them, so that's where I'll be getting them from now on. Unless I'm in Markham, Ontario, I'll be hitting up Heroes World. Great guys to deal with. I've gotten a couple of my Valaverse figures from them so far, but fantastic guys there in Heroes World, and a great online store, ecollectibles.ca. And here we have her next to some Hasbro ladies. We have Zorana Scarlet with a Scarlett Johansson Black Widow head. We have Agent Carter body with a Scarlet G.I. Joe head. And we got Baroness with a neck modification. If you haven't caught that video, check that out in my G.I. Joe playlist. Very happy with that figure once I did the neck modification on it. But one thing I really noticed just kind of placing these figures here is the feel of the Valaverse figure over the Hasbro. There's definitely better quality in the Valaverse figure. There's just no doubt about it. The limbs, the joints, bending them just feels a whole lot more better, sturdy, better construction on the Valaverse figure. There's no doubt about it. Next to Hasbro's Fortnite Lynx, not even sure this name, picked it up at Walmart on clearance for a good price. Only reason I got it. But she scales all right with them. Hi there. I gotta say, I'm digging this face covering. So mysterious. Next to a Mattel Goon with a custom 3D printed bulldog head. Next to a Mezco Batman, so they fit in pretty well with Mezco, I think. Here we got Eclipse next to Spinneret and Bombastic. Fuck. Here we got her next to Spinneret and the Bombastic Bagman Spider Man. Love that head sculpt. Next to a couple of different sized McFarlane, Harley Quinn towering over Eclipse, and we got the Penguin. Actually scales pretty well. Let's finish off the comparisons with SH Figure Arts Selena Kyle from The Dark Knight. And they're definitely a little bit too small to slide in there with your Valaverse figures. All right, so we'll finish off here. We won't go through articulation. They got double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, everything you need in an action figure. They're all the same. All the Valaverse pretty much are the same. I don't think anyone is better than the other. They pretty much share a lot of body parts. But this one here, you can definitely customize the look of her more than the other two, given that you can go with the look of the headscarf, you can go with the unmasked version, and you can go with the unmasked version with the scarf, giving you three different looks. One thing very cool, little detail that he definitely did not have to include is the little clip here, hair clip. I just thought that was a little nice touch that not a lot of people would even really notice if it wasn't there or if it wasn't painted. But great little detail there. Lots of hands, comes with lots of hands, two guns on this one, a knife. So pretty much every figure he gives the same amount of hands, all the hands you need, open hands, closed hands, stabbing hands, throwing hands, punching hands, you name it, he gives you the hands. I can't stress enough how big of a fan I am of the Valaverse brand. I'm going to continue to grow this collection, most likely tenfold. I just heard on the Analog Toys podcast that he's going to be re-releasing Wave 1. Some of those figures I absolutely missed. Didn't hear about Valaverse until that Kickstarter was already come and gone. But I'm on board now. Stick around. We're going to review Kill Switch, and we got some other things coming up this week. So you're going to want to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you guys later.
All done the video.